Marvel is getting the gang back together for Avengers Doomsday, paying RDJ a king's ransom in an attempt to relive the glory days of the MCU. Since the Infinity War saga concluded in 2019 with Avengers Endgame, the once almighty box office juggernaut has fallen far from grace. It hasn't been all doom and gloom, hey! They have had several wins in Phase 4 and 5, but for every Spider-Man No Way Home, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they released dumpster fires such as Thor Love and Thunder, Eternals, The Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and their most recent films, Captain America Brave New World, The Thunderbolts, and even Fantastic Four, didn't exactly smash it out the park. And don't get me started on the Disney Plus shows. When they were first announced, people were excited for some of the secondary characters that didn't exactly have the star power for their own cinematic release to be given a chance to shine, to tell their own story. But most of them are just forgettable or led to absolutely nowhere. Marvel placed all their chips on a bunch of C and D list characters when honestly the vast majority of the audience not only didn't know who they were, just simply didn't care. In the post-Endgame phases, people wanted the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, not a bunch of nobodies or replacements for their favourites. Some of the Phase 4 and 5 characters are returning in Doomsday, and likely even more in Avengers Secret Wars, but Marvel knows people are here for the classic Avengers lineup, and all those cameos and surprises from the X-Men, Spider-Man, and much more. Doomsday has even been marketed as picking up directly from Endgame, with that film being re-released again, but this time with some extra material, probably footage from Doomsday, focusing on Steve Rogers living happily ever after before being brought back into the fold. And guys, you've all seen the new Avengers trailer by now, and they're at Comic-Con this weekend, so expect more reveals. The trailer supposedly smashed over 500 million views in 24 hours, which places it second only to Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that shows us all there is still a massive audience out there. But in 2026, moviegoers are a little more reluctant to part ways with their hard-earned cash. There's no doubt Doomsday will hit massive numbers at the box office, but with how much it costs to produce, they will need to hit something insane to turn a profit. But I don't think money is their number one incentive. I think they're willing to splash the cash on making the biggest Avengers movie so far, filled with more faces than an Oscar party. I was going to say something else there. Anyways, in an attempt to win back not only the hardcore fans that bought all the comics over the years, but just as importantly, the general audience who haven't been turning up in recent years. Some movies have hit the $1 billion mark, but in all honesty, they are charging fewer people more to go to the cinema. Spider-Man Brand New Day releases next week, and that will hit some serious numbers. Obviously, it's a Sony movie with Marvel partnership, but I'm not sure if it'll hit the heights of No Way Home. But Spidey is one of the last true great superheroes out there who is a proper draw. No idea if he's in Doomsday, but I bet you Marvel regrets selling him to Sony all those years ago, and they're never getting him back. Oh, I sound like a right party pooper, don't I? But that's where we currently are. The superhero genre is no longer the all-conquering force it once was, but if they make something people want to see, then they'll come. Whether that's just to see RDJ as Doctor Doom, for the return of Steve Rogers, or just to experience the Avengers again. I'm not going to BS you guys, we all know there's a supposed plot leak out there, and the trailer kinda confirms much of it. I still have my reservations about casting the guy that led the franchise for a decade as Iron Man being cast as Doctor Doom. Obviously, I don't need to remind you, Doctor Doom wasn't the original big bad, with that honour going to Kang, but we all know what happened there. But Doctor Doom is one of Marvel's greatest villains, and they've made sure you know he's the Avengers' most dangerous opponent so far, combining intellect, technology and sorcery, with him reaching God Emperor Doom levels being a possibility. He puts the fear of God into Thor. The God of Thunder describes the current threat as scaring him more than anything he's ever faced. That would include an Infinity Gauntlet wielding Thanos. He compares his current team of bench warmers as being nothing compared to the allies of the past, and they need a miracle to survive the day. Enter Steve Rogers, who completes the two-step verification process by calling Mjolnir to his hand. No idea how returning Captain America, even with Thor's hammer, is enough to turn the tide, as we can see Doctor Doom go all Goku on Thor's ass as he stops Stormbreaker with just 2 fingers. And folks, that is how you get someone over. They did it with Thanos when he squashed Hulk, And if you want to bring up DBZ, then they did this several times when introducing the next villain or power level. Frieza was a terror on Namek, but Future Trunks put an end to him in seconds, establishing the next realm of power. And to be honest, I just hope Thor, who is my favourite Avenger, makes it out alive. I know some folk are a bit pissed off with how the strongest Avenger has been presented here, but it gets Doom over. They have to sell him as the biggest threat ever, and they can't do that with words alone. And him defeating a Stormbreaker wielding Thor is one hell of a way to do it. Maybe him or a Foreman in the middle of the fight was a little bit too much, but it worked, it's got people talking. And it's not like we've seen the full sequence yet, so we don't know what's going to happen next. But Doom is the clear favourite, and it may lead to Thor getting a nice little power up, which is something I always want to see. But Doom may not be the only threat this put together Avengers team will face. We have several individual groups from 3 different universes that are coming together. The main MCU universe, the Fox characters, and the Fantastic Four, who you saw in Thunderbolts, have left their world. I guess this is the whole can they coexist scenario, or they start off as enemies, then become allies when faced against a common threat. From what I gather, their individual universes are colliding. I guess this will be a larger scale version of the incursions we saw in the past, but this time there are 3 universes involved. And Doom will likely be working to take advantage of this turmoil for his own goals, with him becoming God Emperor of Battleworld and Secret Wars. As for the other threats established since Endgame, the Celestials, the Ten Ring Signal, Hercules seeking revenge against the God of Thunder, Doctor Strange hanging around in the Dark Dimension, and whatever else Marvel has quite left aside, I don't know. I guess them focusing solely on these 2 Avengers movies on Doctor Doom is a good sign. I did see something related to there not being enough build-up for Doom. That's the current discourse online. Like I said, we all know Doctor Doom was Plan B. This film was put together quite quickly, but I don't think Doom needs 2 or 3 movies to build him up as the next big bad. I kind of see where some folk are coming from though. Doomsday itself has had very little setup when compared to the previous installments, such as Infinity War bringing several teams together, revealing all the locations of the Infinity Stones first established in Captain America in 2011, and Endgame reuniting a broken Avengers after Civil War. The teams in Doomsday are kinda random, with many cast members returning from the Fox universe, feeling like the old cameo trick, dangling the old carrot in front of you. But as I always do, I will wait and see for myself when the film releases in December. Hating on Marvel has become not only very popular, but very profitable. I've said my piece, it's a fact the franchise is not what it once was, but if they make something quality, and something I'm interested in, then I will give it a chance. I doubt Doomsday will be as groundbreaking as the first Avengers film, nor as well made as Infinity War. It might not even be as grand as Endgame, but I'll be there opening weekend. But guys, let me know your thoughts on Avengers Doomsday and the current state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is obviously something a little bit different. I have branched out in the past. If it's something you want to see more of, let me know. But as always, we have the bread and butter on the channel, and that will continue. House of the Dragon is back in a few days, so make sure you come back for that. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.